Okay, so you know how every neighborhood has those two families? I need to tell you about this because it completely changed how I think about money. So let's call them the Hendersons and the Garcias. The Hendersons, oh my god, they look like they have it all figured out. Brand new Audi Q7 in the driveway. The house always looks perfect. Kids in travel soccer. Every Friday, they're at some restaurant that doesn't even put prices on the menu. And every time you see them, you're like, what do they know that I don't? And then there's the Garcias. 2017 Honda CR-V with a dent in the back. Same house for 9 years. Kids wear each other's old clothes. Friday nights you can smell the carne asada from the sidewalk. Nobody looks at the Garcias and thinks, goals. But okay, here's the part that blew my mind. The Garcias have $340,000 invested. The Hendersons, about $6,100 in savings and 4 credit cards with balances. Same neighborhood, same schools, completely different financial reality. And once I understood why, I couldn't stop thinking about it. Because it's not about income. It's not about being smarter. There are these invisible walls between different levels of wealth that nobody ever tells you about. And one family learned to see them and the other one didn't. So I want to walk you through all 5 levels today and show you exactly where these walls are. Because once you see them, you can't unsee them. And oh my god, the wall at level 5, that one catches actual millionaires. People with 7 figures who still can't relax. That one changed everything for me, and it's coming at the very end. Level 1, survival. So level 1 is survival mode, and if you've been here, you already know what this feels like. It's a Wednesday night, and you can't sleep because your brain is doing math. Rent is due Friday. You've got $212 in checking. Payday is Thursday, but insurance auto drafts Thursday morning. So you're just lying there, running numbers, trying to figure out which bill you can push, which late fee is cheapest. And about 58% of Americans are somewhere inside this right now. So if this is you, please hear me. This is not your fault. And I say that because banks charge you $35 every time you overdraft. $35. That's literally a fine for not having enough money. And payday lenders? They specifically set up in areas where people earn under $40,000 on purpose. Like, the system is designed to keep you stuck. You're not bad with money. The game is rigged. But here's what's so fascinating. When you're in survival mode, your brain physically cannot think long-term. Scientists call it the scarcity mindset. Your focus shrinks to this week, not because you're not smart, because your nervous system is in emergency mode, and emergency mode only cares about right now. So the wall isn't laziness. It's your brain locked into a 72-hour window. And the fix isn't try harder. The fix is giving your brain permission to zoom out. And here's something so simple that works. Take your smallest bill and call to move the due date so it lines up with when you get paid. 5-minute call, but it gives your brain this tiny pocket of breathing room. When the panic drops even a little, you start thinking in weeks instead of days. That's the crack in the wall. But here's the thing. Getting out of level 1 does not mean you're in the clear, because the Hendersons got past this level a long time ago. And look where they ended up. Level 2, the treadmill. So at level 2, you've got more money coming in. You got the raise or the better job. Bills aren't terrifying anymore. You can finally breathe. But somehow, you still feel broke. And that's the part that's so confusing. You're making $55,000, maybe $70,000, but the car payment is $487 a month. Rent jumped $400. DoorDash is costing you $63 a week, which, and I love this math, is over $3,200 a year. You could literally fly to Europe for what you spent on lukewarm pad thai. This is what I call the treadmill. Your legs are moving faster, but you're in the exact same spot. And this is exactly where the Hendersons are stuck. Every raise they've ever gotten was swallowed by their lifestyle before the paycheck even cleared. And here's what's so wild about the wall at this level. I think of it like a conveyor belt. Your income goes up by $1,000, your spending goes up by $950. And you didn't even choose it. Instagram decides what people at your salary are supposed to own. Your coworkers go for $16 lunches and you don't want to be the Tupperware person. So the belt moves and you just move with it. But okay, I found something that breaks this and it's so simple. Next time you get unexpected money, a tax refund, birthday cash, whatever, don't spend it for 48 hours. Just let it sit. If after 2 days you don't miss it, move it somewhere you can't easily touch. You're proving to yourself that surprise money doesn't have to disappear. That proof snaps the belt. Level 3, comfort. Now what I'm about to tell you about level 3. This one got me personally. For years. And I'm kind of embarrassed about it. I have to be real with you. I was stuck at this level and had absolutely no idea. Level 3 looks amazing from the outside. Bills on autopay. 401k exists. Emergency fund. Vacation once a year. Everyone thinks you're doing great. And the scary part? You think so too. And that is exactly why it's a trap. Because when nothing hurts, nothing changes. You're making $85,000, saving a little, investing a little, and comfort is just sitting there going, you're fine. 3% into the 401k is plenty. But oh my God, let me show you what 3% actually does, because this is the part that woke me up. $85,000 salary, 3% to retirement, that's $2,550 a year. After 30 years at 7% returns, you get about $255,000. And you're probably thinking, okay, that sounds decent, but do the next part of the math. That gives you $850 a month in retirement. $850 for rent, food, medicine, gas, everything. For the rest of your life, after working for 30 years. The wall at this level doesn't bite. That's its superpower. You're not broke enough to panic and not free enough to relax. So you just coast for years. And what cracked this for me was calculating one number. Take how much you need per month, multiply by 12, then by 25. That's your freedom number. The amount where work becomes optional. When I saw how far away I was at 3%, I could not go back to ignoring it. That number made everything real. If any of this is clicking for you, hit subscribe. I do this every week, and this is honestly the stuff they should have taught us in school. Okay, remember the wall at level 5 I mentioned? The one that gets millionaires? We're almost there. But first, you need to see what happens when things actually start going right. Because this part is so cool. Level 4, Builder. You know what? Something kind of magical happens at this level, and I get excited every time I talk about it. Your investments cross $100,000. And one random month you check your account and it's up $8,000. You didn't do anything. Didn't work extra? The money just grew while you were sleeping. And you get this feeling like, oh, so this is how it works. That moment changes everything. And this is where the Garcias are. Not because they earn more than the Hendersons. They actually earn less. But they never let level 2 and 3 eat their money. So now compound interest is doing the heavy lifting. At this level, you start seeing things so differently. Someone shows you a $600 monthly car payment, and you don't see a car anymore. You see $190,000. Because that's what $600 a month becomes in an index fund over 15 years. Your whole brain rewires. But here's what surprised me about this level. Of this wall, it's fear. You built this from nothing. And now your brain is terrified of losing it. A 5% market dip, and suddenly you're reading doom articles at midnight. You forget that the S&P 500 has averaged about 10% a year for 50 years through every disaster you can think of. The wall turns you from a builder into a hoarder. And here's the thing about hoarding. It doesn't compound. What helped me was kind of extreme, but it worked. I deleted my brokerage app from my phone. I can still check on my computer. But I removed the ability to panic check 12 times a day. And within a month, my whole relationship with my investments changed. I stopped reacting to headlines and just let the thing grow. Level 5, Freedom. So this is the one I told you to wait for, and I'm so glad you're still here. Freedom means your investments cover your living expenses. You could quit tomorrow and your life keeps going. Your time is actually yours. That's the dream, right? So why are so many people who get here still miserable? Still grinding for 60 hours? Still feeling like it's not enough? And this is the part that just... Okay, Boston College studied people worth $25 million or more, and most of them said they felt financially insecure. $25 million, and they didn't feel like they had enough. When I first read that, I was like, how is that even possible? But then it made so much sense. They spent their entire lives chasing a number, and never once stopped to ask, what is all of this for? They built the machine, but never picked a destination. That's the wall. Not money, not markets. It's purpose. Without it, no number will ever feel like enough. The finish line just keeps moving. And this is exactly the Hendersons' problem. $210,000 a year combined. No target, no definition of enough. Just more. Always more. They will never feel wealthy because they never decided what wealthy means to them. The Garcias wrote one sentence on a napkin 3 years ago. By 50, we work because we want to, not because we have to. Every financial decision gets filtered through that sentence. That napkin is worth more than the Audi. And honestly, I think it might be the most valuable thing in this entire video. So this video was about 5 levels. 5 walls you can't see until someone points them out. Survival locks you into this week. The treadmill eats every raise. Comfort puts you to sleep while the years disappear. Building makes you terrified of your own success. And freedom means nothing if you never figured out what you wanted it for. Which wall are you hitting right now? Tell me in the comments. because the second you can name it is the second it starts losing its grip. And that's all for today. I hope you find this video helpful. If yes, then make sure you hit the like button, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more of these kinds of videos. Thanks for watching.